guys, what's up? It's Maddie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm so excited because I'm sharing with you all how I kind of get my designer pieces for way cheaper than retail. If you guys have been following me on Instagram for a little bit now, you may have seen that I've kind of amped up my designer pieces, and I just wanted to show you all how I get them for way cheaper. Designer pieces at retail prices I definitely cannot afford right now, so I wanted to show you guys some of the tips and tricks that I use to get designer pieces for much cheaper. So the first tip I have for you guys is to use secondhand kind of vintage Instagram accounts that resell and repurpose designer and like vintage pieces that are like one of a kind, which is really cool. And vintage is a very popular thing right now, which is cool anyways, because kind of vintage pieces can sometimes be a little less than what they are retail, so that's always nice. But some of the Instagram accounts that I love like looking at their stuff is Lucky 11 Vintage. I don't know if they sell really designer things, but their stuff is super cute and I love the way they style it and everything. One is called The Luxe Looks, and they sell a lot of repurposed jewelry. So I see a lot of like Chanel necklaces on there where they may have taken like a brooch or a button and then they put it on a necklace, and it's super pretty. Another account is called Into Archive, and they do a lot of designer pieces from clothing to shoes to handbags, everything, you name it. So they are really cool if you were looking for designer clothing pieces. The last Instagram account that I follow and check up on is called re.taishi. It's like re-taishi. I am probably butchering it, but of course I'll put it here so you guys can see it. But they're based out of Toronto and they focus mainly on designer handbags. So if that's what you guys are interested, then there's a couple Instagram accounts that kind of vary based on the designer pieces that you're looking for. I personally have never bought anything through any of these Instagram accounts, but I know a lot of people that do, like fashion bloggers that I follow, and then they tag these accounts, and that's how I found out a lot of them. So there are people that definitely buy from them, but I just personally have never purchased anything from there before. Okay, so the next tip I have for you guys is Poshmark, and I have talked about Poshmark before. You guys know I have a Poshmark. I sell my clothes on there, and that's how I make a lot of my money. But I just love the app. I think it's so user-friendly, and that's how I have recently started buying a lot of my designer pieces, because I can just find them really easily. I can sort them from low to high. I can sort them from if they've just been posted. It's just really user-friendly. One thing though to keep in mind with Poshmark, if you're buying designer pieces through there, they don't authenticate unless it's over $500, which is definitely something I am not doing currently. You kind of have to do the research yourself and kind of Google the certain style and seeing, or the certain brand and seeing how to authenticate that brand. So I know there's a lot of websites that do this, but they just kind of tell you what to look for, like as far as serial number wise, like where it should be and what numbers you should be looking for, kind of the stitching, you should be looking at that, the handles, the logo, even the print, how it's laid on the bag, just everything like that you really have to pay close attention to, because you never know. Sometimes you do get lucky and the pieces that you're buying, they come with a little authenticity card, which one of the bags I did buy through Poshmark that I'll show you guys did come with a little authentic card, so I know they bought it from the retail, and that's how I know that it's real. But sometimes of course they don't always come with that, so you just kind of have to be sure and double check that you're getting is real. So the first ever piece that I picked up through Poshmark that is designer are these Alexander Wang Bermuda style shorts, and you guys have seen me style these a bunch of different times, but they're just kind of, they go down like a little bit above your knee like a biker short would. And then they have this beautiful like corduroy texture, and then they have this probably real leather considering it's designer. I was about to say faux leather, but it's probably real. And then they just have these really cool detail with the straps, and you can kind of undo them if you wanted them longer, but I really like how it kind of bundles it up right there. And then the back is just all corduroy. But these are super cool, and I think they're really unique. So when I saw them, I was just so in love with them, and they were honestly super cheap, like under $50, which I was shocked. The next piece that I purchased from Poshmark as well is this beautiful nylon Prada bag. And this, how I knew it was real, is because it comes with a little authenticity card inside. I keep it inside because that's always good to keep. But this is the card that I was talking about. That's how you know that like what you're getting is real. It comes with a little card verifying that, like the name of the bag, the date. So yeah, I just always keep this within the bag just in case I wanted to ever like resell it, or you know, just to keep it and verify, because your bags are always worth a lot more if you have those authenticity cards, of course, because it would just make someone want to buy the bag even more if you can like verify that it's actually real. But I just love this bag. You guys can see it's kind of gently worn, but that is what you're gonna get if you're gonna get like a pretty discounted bag and not have to buy it retail. But I think it's pretty good shape for what I paid for it, and this I think was definitely under $100, which I think is pretty good for a Prada bag. Okay, so the last and final designer piece that I purchased through Poshmark recently are these Gucci glasses, and you guys have definitely seen these on Instagram as well. These ones are super cool because I love the 90s like thin rectangular fit that kind of Bella Hadid wears a lot. That's where I got like my inspiration for these glasses. At first, when I was looking for this style of glasses, I wasn't even looking for designer necessarily, but then I kind of just noticed that Gucci had a lot of this style of glasses, and they're all over Poshmark, you guys. They have like so many different colors, so many different styles. I want to get so many more, but I need to control myself. But I think these are just like a go-to glasses to have because they're in the color black. And then they just have the little G right there. And then in this, you can't really see it, but it just says Gucci made in Italy. And then these also came with a Gucci like glasses case, but it's over there. But I do think that it's worth a lot more if it comes with the case, just because, you know, they're not going to scratch, and I just think they're more valuable when they come with the case, obviously. So that's definitely something to look for, because I know not all glasses are being sold with a case. Okay, another tip that I have for you guys to look for designer pieces is thrift stores, and this is definitely a long shot. It has to be a really lucky day for you to find a designer item that's real at the thrift shop. But I luckily found one day, and this was actually, I think it was my first designer piece. Actually, my second. I think I had the Alexander Wang shorts, and then I saw this at Goodwill, and I actually freaked out. It was just sitting there, and I was like looking around to see if I was being pranked because I didn't think it was real. But it is this Christian Dior mint white button-up, and I have talked about this as well. So if you guys have seen any of my other videos, then you definitely have seen all of these pieces. But it is just a kind of like I think it's a size large. It's just kind of oversized on me. It was in the men's section, but it is just a white button up, as you can see, and it just has a little Dior label. And on the pocket, I don't know if you guys can quite tell, it has a little Dior monogrammed in it. But it is just the cutest thing, and I think a white button-up is just so classic to have. And then just the fact that it's Dior and I found it at Goodwill just made my day. So you never know what you're gonna find. Definitely check out your thrift stores, but you definitely have to be like on the watch for it and go through every single piece. I know there's a lot of people that live in like California that go to thrift stores and have a lot of luck with finding designer items. But here we are in Swampland, Gainesville, Florida, and I found myself a Dior button up. So you never know what's gonna happen. You just gotta have a little hope and a little luck. Last and final tip for you guys is to use some of those websites that I'm sure you guys have heard of, like The Real Real, and just make use of these websites because they are 100% authenticated designer pieces. So they might be a little bit more than you might get on Poshmark, but if you don't wanna go through the hassle of researching and like verifying whether your piece that you're going to get is authentic, you can definitely go through these websites and like be confident that what you're getting is real. And a lot of these pieces are in better condition than you may get on Poshmark because, you know, they've been hand selected and cleaned and everything. So I'm just gonna list some of these websites here that I have found, but one of them is The Real Real, Fashion File, and Vestiaire Collective. So those are just three that I have found that I think they have apps too. So if you don't want to like look on a website, or if you just want it to be handy on your phone and constantly like be checking the new designer pieces that come in. I know Fashion File definitely has an app. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the kind of tips and tricks that I use to get my designer pieces. And if you have any more questions that like I didn't answer, please leave them down below or message me on Instagram, whatever you want to do. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you all very soon in my next one. Bye guys!